Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we have another What's on the Shelf. Let's get into it. First up on the shelf we have Die in the Dungeon. And in Die in the Dungeon you play as the monster trying to defeat the heroes. And everything in this game is based off a dice or die. So the bad guys that you play as, the monsters, everything have die heads, die faces. The heroes that you're trying to stop all have die heads and faces. It's got cool little acrylic miniatures that you use as your character. And then, yeah, it's a pretty fun game. You can build your own dungeon or you can use one of the pre made ones. And it's a solo or two-player game. But that's pretty much all I have to say about that, except for it's time to hunt the heroes or die trying. And after that, we have Crisis. I have not got a chance to play Crisis yet. I've had it for a while. It's one of those games I got on sale and just haven't got around to. It says the goal of the game is to survive and even thrive. In business, while everything else is collapsing around you, the recent economic crisis has forced the government to privatize, putting critical pieces of infrastructure on the market. Furthermore, recently bankrupt firms are also putting their assets up for sale, offering many opportunities for investment. Each turn, a number of such investment opportunities appear in the form of company cards. You'll be going through several phases. You'll be drawing an event card that'll change some stuff of the round, paying interest on your loans, planning out um, your tokens, what you're going to buy, I guess, and then resolving everything. But that's pretty much Crisis. Like I said, haven't played it. Next up on the shelf, we have Riverboat. And in Riverboat, you'll be kind of placing workers down, placing tiles. You'll be drafting tiles. Um, it says easy to teach, 5 clearly structured phase cards to help. Yeah, shows all the phases. The Upper Midwest, early 19th century. It is a hard life farming along the Upper Mississippi, but it is an era of innovation and expansion, and the technological advancements in riverboat technology are expanding the opportunities that you have. But yeah, like I said, you'll be placing these different crop tiles and then putting your meeples out on those tiles to harvest those tiles to do other stuff. And yeah, it's been a little while since I've played it. I don't remember everything in it. Next up, we have Nomopolis. And in Nomopolis, you'll be pursuing the prosperous future for the district by constructing buildings, earning gold, and finding accommodations for your gnomes. And it's pretty much you'll be building buildings and doing kind of worker placement type things with your gnomes and try to make sure you have enough buildings to put your gnomes in to score the most points at the end of the game, plus getting points for what buildings you have built. And up next we have Chimera Station. And Chimera Station is a worker placement game, but it has a neat little twist where you build your workers out of these plastic pieces that snap together. And depending on what pieces you have on your worker, it modifies certain locations. And there's 5 different colored pieces, and they do different stuff. Like the leaves part can allow you to feed one of your workers with part of that worker. And yeah, and you'll be building out the spaces as you go. But it's a fairly fun game. I haven't played it a whole lot, but so I have on it right now. Next up, we have the Feast for Odin. And if you haven't played A Feast for Odin, it's a worker placement mainly, and it has 60 or 70 something spaces you can place your workers on, and you will be uh, getting certain tiles and then upgrading those tiles and filling in spaces on another board to increase your income or get other islands or different buildings to put stuff in to score points and try to not get a lot of negative points. But in this game, you will raid and explore new territories. You'll also experience their day-to-day activities, collecting goods to achieve a financially secure position in society. In the end, the player whose possessions bear the greatest value will be declared the winner. And then up after that, we have A Feast for Odin, the Norwegians expansion. I just recently got this, so I haven't had a chance to try it out yet. But it says adds new modular action boards specifically suited for varying player counts, new spaces and a fifth action column, new exploration tiles, new buildings, and new goods with a new goods box. Add a world of possibilities to the acclaimed strategy game by award-winning designer Uwe Rosenberg. But a lot more stuff for an already good game, sounds like to me. Next up, we have the role-player Kickstarter version, big box, whatever you want to call it. And I have the base game and both expansions and pretty much all of the promos and stuff. But first off, if you don't know what role player is, it's a game where you're rolling dice and drafting dice and trying to math up like a Dungeons and Dragons style character. You'll get like a random race and a random class and different things, and you're trying to draft these dice in specific numbers and hit goals on your class card to try to build the best character, I guess. And you'll be buying equipment to help you get other powers. And every time you place a dice, you'll get a power. So it's really fun. I like Role Player a lot. And then we have the Monsters and Minions expansion in there as well, which adds minions that you can fight if you don't feel like buying something. And then like a big boss monster you can fight at the end of after you've created your character at the end of the round. And just more cards and some new dice and stuff like that. Adds a clear die that goes from, I believe, 2 to 8 or something, or 3 to 7, I don't remember. Something like that. And then the next up, we have the Friends and Familiars, or Fiends and Familiars expansion, which is the Kickstarter I got this box with. And it adds more and more, adds familiars to the game, new adventure cards, monster cards, minion cards, a new kind of dice called split dice. Yeah, just more new stuff to the game. And those dice in the monsters and minion were boost dice. Yeah. And up next, we have another game in the same universe, a role player tale, Lockup. And this is kind of a worker placement prison game where you have your crew of a specific fantasy race of creatures, and you are sending your different powered, like 1, 2, 3, whatever, leveled guys out to the spaces and trying to do the action there. Build prison weapons or recruit new members, different things like that. Build items. And, yep, it says you play as a squadron of minions that were captured on the battlefield and locked up in Kolbach. But in 6 short weeks, King Taron will visit the prison, and he might give you a chance to fight for your freedom. Can you build a reputation to establish yourself as the leader of the prison's most powerful crew? And up next, we have Dungeon Royal, or Dungeon Royale. And your quest in Dungeon Royale is to explore the dungeon, battle opponents, steal and accomplish quests to get the most points before you or another hero leaves the dungeon with the Stone of Life. The hero with the most points wins. So you'll be kind of dungeon crawling, trying to get that Stone of Life and get out. And I've only played this once back when I first got it from Kickstarter, so I can't remember exactly everything in there. And then up above there is the Dungeon Royal solo co-op expansion. And yeah, it just adds the stuff to play solo and co-op versions of the game. And then lastly, on the bottom there, we have Shadowscape. And it has been a while since I've played this. It says, an ancient tale spoken only in whispers tells a forbidden underworld created by the dawn of time, or at the dawn of time. Some say that it is plain and completely overtaken by the mist. Others believe it is still the domain of the Night Father and his testing ground for those who choose to become his champion. This is a 2 to 4 player game set in the world of Mistfall in the heart of the mists. During the game, players will move their heroes around randomly generated dungeon, managing their tableau of actions and their hand of fate cards, facing enemies and gaining equipment, all while trying to be the first to fulfill the conditions face up whispering card that grant them the shadow shards, which determine the winner of the game. But I guess that is it for this What's on the Shelf. If you liked what you've seen, don't forget to ring the bell and to keep up to date with my latest videos, and like, subscribe, comment down below. And as always, have a great day.